Here's how they line up for race 2 of the Suzuki Swift Sport Cup from Taupo. Mark Gibson off the pole, AJ Lauder from grid number 2. A road 2 start for the championship leader Dane Fisher alongside Sean Lawrence. Go back to Christchurch's Chris Cox and Wellington's Jamie Gaskin. Then it's Simon Evans in the Castrol Edge Swift alongside Woku's Rex McCutcheon, back to Mark Spring and Brad Lauder. A row 6 start for Sam Barry and Rob Gibson, the second of the Gibson Motorsport team cars. The third of the team cars, Craig McRae from row 7 alongside Amy Vincent, Daniel Lindberg and Ben Eriksson from row number 8. But the big story, Mike Turley starting from the rear of the field, having started the weekend second in the points. So the big story off the back of race number 1, Mike Turley starting from the back of this grid. He was assessed with a 50-second penalty. Problems here for Dane Fisher off the grid. Well, he's the championship leader, waiting for the lights to go out. A little bit of smoke from underneath the hood of the placemaker's car, but Mike Turley with a 50-second penalty effectively finished last in race number 1, and the gap now between Fisher and Turley going into race 2 is 65 points. Fisher needs to leave this race with a bigger than 75-point advantage, so he does have the advantage here at the moment, Ryan, but that was a little bit of a worrying sight just off the grid there for Fisher.
Maybe Dane had just heated the brakes up quite a lot on his warm-up lap, and with the car being stopped, the pads might have been stuck to the rotors.
So it might have looked a lot worse than it was. There's Rex McCutcheon having made a good start. Mark Gibson moved into 4th overall in the championship after his race 1 win. 5 points ahead of AJ Lauder, who finished second. There's Mike Turley playing catch-up, so that really hurt Turley in the points in that first race.
Yeah, again, with the championship being so close, he needed to finish all races, which he did. Obviously, there was a bit of a problem, and he's really suffered from it.
Yeah, well, at the end of race number 1, we thought the advantage was 16 points, but that penalty was applied post-race. Now, the other drama in the top 3 in the championship, no Grant Ryan. He's fallen ill this morning, too ill to race, so that's really hard luck for Grant Ryan. He's had such a solid championship. As we're on board with the race leader, AJ Lauder in behind. That's a great shot off the back of the Gibson Motorsport Suzuki, but AJ Lauder, like race number 1, he's not going to make it easy.
As close as you want to get, you can see AJ Lauder looking and picking up a draft down the back straight.
You can just about see the registration details on the windscreen of Lauder's car. How's that for the draft? He's right on the back bumper, down towards the carousel for the first lap. He goes to the outside, Gibson on the inside, Sean Lawrence and Dane Fisher side by side in that battle for 3rd and 4th. Lawrence is going to win that ball down through turn number 12.
And again, with the championship being so close, Mark Gibson's currently in 5th, but can jump ahead of both of these guys in front of him, possibly finish 3rd or 2nd for the championship.
Yeah, and he has taken over the points lead for the rookie championship as well. So there's Fisher going through, there's Chris Cox with the red cross details on the side of that race car. Mark Spring making a much better start, had some dramas at the beginning of the weekend. Mike Turley was scored in the 15th position at the end of lap number 1. Here's AJ Lauder, the team Aegis Racing Suzuki number 87. His younger brother Brad's been coming on strong over the last few races as well. He's back in the field in the number 15 position, currently in the 12th position. So Dane Fisher with the opportunity here to pick up the championship if he can, by the end of this race, be more than 75 points ahead of the next car, which at the moment is going to be disputed between the likes of Mike Turley and Mark Gibson and AJ Lauder. If we discount Grant Ryan, who has not started this race due to illness, we could be looking at a new champion.
Dane knows what he needs to do. He'll just be pacing himself, you know, and taking it easy. He doesn't want a problem. Really, Mike Turley's just got to pass as many cars as he can.
Rex McCutcheon just sitting off the left rear quarter of the Fisher Placemaker's car. So it's Gibson, Lauder, Sean Lawrence having another solid weekend. Finished 4th in race number 1. Looking to cement that top 10 finish in the championship in his 2nd season in the Suzuki Swift Sport Cup. Again, Lauder just can't get enough momentum off that turn 11 to get a run on Mark Gibson on the main straight here at Taupo Motorsport Park.
Mark Gibson's doing a fantastic job, an absolute rookie to motor racing this year, and he's under all sorts of pressure, again, same as race 1, and he's definitely standing up to the challenge.
Well, the current lap record held by William Bamber, 149.9. Gibson's just done a 150.1, as did AJ Lauder, so they're right on track record pace. about 4/10 of a second quicker than what they were doing in race number 1, but it's a little bit cooler here for race number 2. On board with the race leader, Mark Gibson. Lots of hometown support here in Taupo for the Gibson Motorsport team. Looks so relaxed in the cockpit. He's done such a fantastic job. And he did have some dramas at the start of the championship. He got into a little bit of drama with some of the official team in the early rounds. Yeah,
I think that's just an inexperienced thing, him learning. As you see, Rob Gibson in the pits.
Things not going to plan for the second of the Gibson Motorsport team cars. Rob Gibson pit side in the number 34 machine. Rob came back through the field to finish 14th after being right back at the tail, getting bundled off in the early laps. He was carrying the onboard camera for race number 1. Mark's carrying it here for race number 2. Dane Fisher with Sean Lawrence in his sights. I think Dane would be pretty happy to just keep circulating around there and just monitor the progress. Well, notably Mike Turley, who moved through to 12th on that last lap. And he's one of only about 4 or 5 drivers in that 150 lap time bracket. So Turley definitely on a bit of a charge here. He's got nothing to lose. He copped that penalty at the end of race number 1, and that penalty, Ryan, is for that clash with Jamie Gaskin on the main straight on the last lap. Yeah, definitely. All these cars have got video footage in them, so they took the video footage, they took the TV footage, and they went through it and obviously awarded what they thought was necessary. Yeah, certainly a hard call and a bitter pill to take for Mike Turley, but he's just got to get on with his job, and he's going to make another position up here under brakes. Mark Spring, he's in the 8th position, battling there with Chris Cox and Jamie Gaskin. There's Lawrence. And Rex McCutcheon's got past Dane Fisher. Yeah, so Rex McCutcheon dropping Fisher back to the 5th position. Dane's just got to be careful he doesn't get too flustered and worry about the cars in front and just keep a clear head and run his own race. Yeah, well, 5th to 12th is 21 points, so that definitely takes Fisher outside of that 75 points buffer. He needs to tie the championship here up in race number 2 to become the 4th season winner of the Suzuki Swift Sport Cup. We've had 2 winners and 3 championships. Cody McMaster won the first 2. William Bamber, of course, won last season. Moved on to the B&T V8s. I think the progress we've really got to watch is Mike Turley, and whether or not Mark Gibson can maybe, well, he'd certainly slot into third in the points. And as to where Mike Turley finishes here, whether or not he'll be second by the end of this race. So there's our race leader, Mark Gibson. 3 more laps to negotiate around Taupo to take his 2nd win of the weekend and his 4th for the championship. Rex McCutcheon, though, on the move in the Mondial number 5. Rex McCutcheon's doing a great job. Started a bit down the grid and definitely moving forward. Well, he finished 9th in race number 1. Youngster out of Waiuku, just south of Auckland. Again, another newbie to the Suzuki racing category, and definitely one that's made a lot of progress throughout the season. Yeah, a lot of rookies at the start of this championship. We had 18 cars start this weekend, initially 19, but Patrick Cronin not able to race this weekend, so I think it would have been the biggest lineup of Suzukis we've seen across probably all 4 years of the championship. Yeah, and that's just a great thing about this class, and shows you it's always getting better every year. There's new cars, new faces in the tent, and it's a great thing. So Mike Turley still in that 11th position. Dane Fisher looking to tie the championship up here with 1 race left to go for the weekend. It's out beyond that 75-point buffer, as we said. Mark Gibson, AJ Lauder, they're both contesting at a minimum 3rd overall in the championship. Gibson in the box seat for the Rookie of the Year. As Lauder's going to look down the inside. Can he get on the brakes hard enough? I think he may have done this one. Yeah. Mark Gibson just left the door open, and AJ has been looking for a way past this whole race. He might make it the 9th new race winner. So 2 laps left to go. Can Gibson get back ahead of Lauder? He's going to have to do a pretty good job to get ahead of him. AJ Lauder's done a great job to get that pass to stick, but in turn, you know, Mark just could have been really defensive and just blocking. But, you know, AJ did that on merit. Definitely. And there was not any contact in it. It was a nice, clean pass. And let's see if he can keep in front of Mark Gibson. Oh, Gibson carrying lots of speed through the infield. Through 4, up to turn number 5. So this race is definitely not over. They've got about a 4 to 5 second advantage over Rex McCutcheon as Lauder makes a little mistake, runs wide off the exit of 5, through 6 on the run up to 7. They'll take the last lap board next time by the start-finish line. If anything, Gibson actually certainly looks quicker through the infield. AJ is having to really be mindful not to make a mistake here because Gibson will just seize the opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. Mark Gibson's from Taupo and done a lot of laps around here.
Here's Dane Fisher up the inside of Lawrence at turn 9. That's a big pass. And one of the most daunting corners in New Zealand motorsport. It is such a wonderful corner. So Fisher makes another gain on Mike Turley, who's still back there in the 11th position. Chris Cox and Jamie Gaskin, they want to play. Simon Evans in that group as well, and Mark Spring, and Sam Barry, and just in back a shot, you can see Mike Turley chasing down that next group of cars. So with one more lap, can Turley maybe get a couple of spots? Fisher's having a big look in his mirror as Gibson goes to the outside, down to the carousel. AJ Lauder still with the race lead, about to take the last lap forward. Evans with a big dive looking to the inside of Chris Cox.
Turley would definitely have to get a couple of positions to keep this championship alive for the last race.
It may not be enough. It may not be enough, but he's right off the back of this queue now, storming from the last position on the grid. Last lap board is out, AJ Lauder looking for the victory. And believe it or not, AJ looking for his first win in the championship to make it 9 different winners over the 10-11 Suzuki Swift Sport Cup Series.
And a kid that definitely deserves a race win. He's been there or thereabouts down at Teretonga, led it right to the last corner in the wet and got pipped at the post.
So Turley's still back there in the 11th position. That would give him 30 points. So that's a 24-point gain. It's an 89-point advantage right now for Dane Fisher. Can Mike Turley? He needs to get 14 points back, so he's going to have to probably pull at least 4, maybe 5 spots to keep this championship alive. Dane Fisher, with about half a lap to negotiate, could very well be the new Suzuki Swift Sport Cup champion, as this battle for the lead is certainly not over. Gibson may be looking for that crossover out of turn number 11.
Definitely. Mark will be doing everything he can, and it'd be so good to see Dane get this championship. He's got great support from Placemakers Cook Street. His family are all here. They're all come down to support. So Dane will be wanting to bring this one home.
All right, Gibson trying to get that run. AJ Lauder, he's in the mirror. He's not taking his eyes off the mirror. Which way is Mark Gibson going to go? Further back. Dane Fisher.
Mark Gibson, if there's half a car, he's going to take it.
Looks to the outside. A very wide line into the final sequence of corners. Lauder's going to hold on to it. He tried to cross him over through the first part of the carousel. Runs it a little bit wide. Just mistimed the run. That's going to give the win to AJ Lauder. Lauder will be the 9th different victor for the 10-11 championship. Mark Gibson in second. Third will be Rex McCutcheon. Dane Fisher will cross the line in 4th. Where is Mike Turley? I think Dane Fisher will take out the Suzuki Swift Sport Cup Championship. Mike Turley crossing the line in 11th. Dane Fisher is your new Suzuki Swift Sport Cup champion with a 4th place finish in race number 2. He's got an 89-point buffer over Mike Turley. Only needed 75 heading into race number 3. So AJ Lauder with his first victory of the season to become the 9th different winner of the championship. Rookie Mark Gibson in second ahead of another rookie Rex McCutcheon. The new Suzuki Swift Sport Cup champion Dane Fisher finishing 4th ahead of Sean Lawrence, with Chris Cox completing the top 6.
AJ, mate, it is with an absolute pleasure I get to do this interview. Congratulations, your first race win.
Yeah, thanks. It was my first one for the season, so it's been good, and that race, me and Mark were battling out that whole time.
Yeah, look, you've been chipping away, but the Radisich name, it continues. We've got another generation coming through, of course. Paul Radisich, your uncle. Proud Frank behind us, mate. What is this like?
Yeah, no, they're very proud of me, and it's good to get the first win under the belt.
Dane Fisher, mate, 2011 Series champion. How good is that?
Oh, amazing. Hasn't obviously sunk in yet since it's been about 2 minutes, but it was a lot harder than I thought out there, but it always is with this racing, and that's why I always say we love it. You never know what's going to happen. So I started third. I thought, oh, let's have a conservative race, finish third, and that should be it. But had a bad start. Sean was on fire, and then brought Rex in, who had a good race too. But yeah, a really good battle with Sean at the end was enough, and obviously over the moon. Just amazing.